Wärtsilä, of course, is well known into market in the marine and the energy sectors. We basically are one of the pioneer in engines, combustion engines manufacturing, mainly for the shipping industry. And then in the last, I would say 40 plus years, we ended to use the same product in the power plant, and basically developed it a lot of engine power plant, which from the historical point of view, in the last 70 years, probably, when we look at the evolutions, went from burning distillate fuel to burn heavy fuel to burn gas. And then now we are in the new era. In the last in the last year and a half, I think the market has been looking for green fuels. And now we have basically methanol, ammonia, and then even hydrogen. So what is nice with the product that we have, that we propose to the marine and the energy sectors, is we've been able to upgrade our product with the same block, with the same structure, with the same history, and then just change basically few components to, simplify it, of course, to change few components to actually accommodate the next generations of fossil fuel and now of green fuel. Pakistan is one of the biggest countries with hydro capabilities. So when you think about it, and they have actually coal. So when you think about the whole structure, it should be easier for Pakistan if the fund would be available to actually have one of the cheapest electricity and cleanest electricities, removing, of course, the coal away from there. So what we have seen in the past years is, of course, from our side, what we see today is probably there's 4 pillars that we could see. Is first of all is we need to reduce the independence of import fuel. I think that's the main road for Pakistan countries. The energy planning, the policy considering optimal penetration of renewable needs to be more accurate and more followed up. I think is crucial, and I think this is where Wärtsilä will be able to help them, because today Pakistan has about 2 gigawatts of I would say reciprocal engines today burning HFO, some of them burning gas. And we feel that if they add more renewable into their system, this existing asset, which are 15 years old, could have a second life, which instead of being a transition base load as they were contracted before, they could become basically what we call the balancer. So they would be able to provide, when the intermittence of the weather happen, they would be able to provide them sustainable power generations during the time those fluctuations take place. And I think this is the big mitigations that would need to happen. And I think if they would follow this path, Pakistan would be able to reduce their imported fuel. They would be able to optimize and reduce their tariff, make the electricity more affordable, without actually spending that much money outside.
If you could decide how to use as you said, the existing power generation sets, which are there, mainly from Wärtsilä, and then you taking the renewable strategy, which also has to be there, solar, wind. Obviously, if there's no sunshine, there's no energy. If there's no wind, there's no energy. There has to be pretty expensive, still pretty expensive storage systems. But how would you balance with the existing generator sets and the challenges or not the challenges, but the obvious outcome of the renewables? What would be in your mind? What would be the perfect balanced mixed in Pakistan?
I think for us, where we see, which we know is tricky, but I think if I had, like you said, if I had the leverage to make the difference, is we need to change the methodology how this existing PPA has been calculated. First of all, they are, most of them, 10 to 15 years. So it means that the payback, the investment into it can't be that far off from already paying off the whole investment for the last, because the PPA has already been executed for years. So one of the mechanics that can be done is you renegotiate the existing PPA, And I think what is missing today in that evaluation is that on one side, somebody's saying that if we negotiate the PPA, I'm going to earn less money. On the other side, and I think this is where the approach is wrong from both sides. One thing that they are going to pay more, the other one thing they're not going to earn enough. Well, in my humble positions at the moment, I'm almost certain that if we would modify the PPA for another 15 years and turn from a base load or transition base load power plant to a balancer, sure, the tariff will be different. You can't be it's very simple. You can't pay off your investment if you're not running because it's based on running hour. But at the same time, if you're able to make a longer period out the investment and then increase the tariff, since you're going to run almost 70% less than what it was planned. So at the end of the day, everybody would find the same balance. But so in theory, yeah, I think you need to take the both parties together. You need to maybe take a third party to make that famous calculation and demonstrate that both parties on an open, on an open book to some extent, will make the return on investment that they need to make. So the government will spend less money, but will be able to use better their renewable, their hydro's capabilities. And then at the same time, you will be able to not reinvest in new PPA, in new technologies, and just upgrade those plants so that they will run on balancer mode, which in this respect will help both countries. And if they run on balancer, we will use less fuel, of course. After Saudi, I would almost say if somebody had to, focus on the countries, I think Pakistan is on the top there because it's a wide, large countries with a lot of capacities. The main challenge probably is that the capabilities in Pakistan are there. I think the power of doing things is there. I think it's now you need to generate the sustainability and start taking one path to the energy visions and then execute it. I think is World Bank or any of those mechanisms around it is maybe good, but I think the biggest is really to make that switch. The more we will have sustainable energies, the more easier it's going to be for Pakistan to explore the capability industrially. Because again, this is a country that is at the merge of most of the European regions. I think, of course, textile is very strong there, but I think there is mining, there is different product, mangoes. I mean, there is other products in Pakistan that maybe the world is not completely aware. And I think that's where, so for the Finnish companies, I think there's a lot of opportunities in other sectors than the one that I've named. I think they are after diversify their market, diversify their economies, their agriculture, and I think that's where maybe we can add some of our minor, smaller size companies to support Pakistan growth.